Alrighty, welcome to system number 10, the reproductive system, which is our last system we're gonna explore. Today is gonna be the male reproductive system, but as for the whole chapter, the main parts of what you need to know is gonna identify the parts, the anatomy, okay? The names of the parts of the male and the female reproductive system, as well the function, what each organ does. And same thing with the female reproductive system. We're going to identify the parts, and then we're going to identify the function or describe the function. And then we explore what happens and how a normal pregnancy happens and how the sperm and the egg come together to produce the baby. Now, we are sexual beings. That means it requires a male and a female, okay, to create life. And each has specialized sex cells. The males have their specialized sex cells, and the female have their specialized sex cells. And like I said earlier, the most important thing in the reproductive system when it comes to your exam and all is understanding these simple terms right here. Okay, what's a gamete? So a gamete is a description for reproductive cells. And the reproductive cells are male and female. Spermatozoa, which is the sperm, and the ovum is an egg. A zygote is a fertilized egg. So when the sperm and the ovum come together, they create a zygote. So it's like the union of the spermatozoa and the ovum. Gonad is, that's my best pronunciation for those things, by the way. They're sex glands, okay? And they can be ovaries for female and their testes for male, okay? So we have the glands and we have the sex cells. This is your ovum and this is your sperm cell, okay? Now, what does the male reproductive system consist of? We have two testes, right? Two vas deferences, like more like tubes or ducts. We have seminal vesicles, which I'll explain in detail each one of them, prostate glands, more glands, and the actual penis, okay? So let's start with the testes. So they're located at the bottom, of course. They're the glands for the male glands, and they are outside the body because we have outside organs and inside organs. So the testes and the penis are going to be external organs. And they're two pouches situated at the bottom, and they're housed by this pouch called the scrotum, okay? So you got the testes, and they're housed by the sac called scrotum. They're egg-shaped glands, and inside those glands, there's tubes called seminiferous tubes. They're like convoluted, meaning they're all over the place, kind of like, you'll see in a picture how that is. They're convoluted coming all together, and they're called seminiferous tubes, okay? Next, we have the vas deferences. So they're a sperm collecting area, and the sperm will stay there, kind of housed till the body is ready to ejaculate them. So you got the testes, and then you got those vas deferens coming out of the testes. I have a great video for you guys to see all that in visual. Okay, so the sperm get collected, and when it's ready to ejaculate, it gets emptied out through the urethra. Next, we have the two seminal vesicles. So these are also tubes located outside of the prostate. And they produce this fluid that is secreted into the ducts at the time of ejaculation. So seminal vesicles, the seminal fluid is going to come out of it, okay? And that seminal fluid contains sugar, mucus, and kind of other substances. Its function is to, nourish the sperm and all that stuff and help it travel to the female reproductive organ. Next, we have the prostate gland. so another gland right here, secretes alkaline fluid, which enhances the movement of the sperm. As well, it neutralizes the acidity in the vaginal canal. So the stomach is acidic, the vagina is supposed to be acidic, so it's an acidic environment. If it's not, then you'll get bacteria, whether it's your gut or in your vagina, okay? But what the sperm's trying to do here, or that seminal, the prostate gland is secreting the alkaline fluid to make it easier for the sperm to actually get inseminated. Instead, the acidic environment of the vagina could be too much for the sperm. So this is one of the benefits of that alkaline fluid that gets secreted from the prostate gland. Next is the bulbourethral gland or Cowper's glands. That's easier to kind of remember. So they're pea-sized glands. They're just beneath the prostate. They produce this mucus, serves like a lubrication for the urethra, in other words. And then what is left is our penis. Okay, so it's consists of a erectile tissue. That means tissue that can expand and elongate and erect, which helps in, of course, inseminating the egg, inserting in the vagina and sending that sperm to the egg. Okay, so these are pretty much the main reproductive organs of the male. So let's see what we mentioned right here. Get a little bigger. So we got the testes right here. The scrotum is the sac that covers the testes. So the testes and the penis are the external things. Of course, everybody knows that. Then we'll talk a little bit about the epidermis in a little bit, but the sperm will get manufactured here. It will be sent out through the vas deferens right here, as it matures, ready to ejaculate, and then it's gonna get sent to the urethra for ejaculation. So that's kind of the path of it, simple. The glands that we talked about are the bulbourethral glands right here, pea-sized glands that you can see right here. And then you have the prostate gland, which is the bigger one. So they kind of lay on top of each other, okay? So most glands in our sexual organs, especially the ones that here, also in the female, they produce lubrication, okay? Seminal vesicles are right here. And what did I mention? Urethra. So that's pretty much the main stuff I mentioned, so you can see here. It's easier as you're gonna go and do it on the graph. Okay, now spermocytes is sperm and cytes are cell. So primary site, before they become sperm, they undergo meiosis, right? As the cell kind of break up and become more cells. Where in the body, in the regular tissue of the body, we have the process of mitosis. So this is, if they're gonna bring any question for you, they're gonna ask you about the meiosis and mitosis. So meiosis is the division of cell in the sexual organs, where mitosis happens in the rest of the body, okay? So the primary spermatocytes, they undergo the meiosis and they become secondary after. So our 60, we have 46 chromosomes, they will be cut in half to 23. And then we'll move on to the secondary phase of the spermatocytes, where they store the genetic information and that divides into half. And they undergo another division to develop into what we call a sperm, okay? So what you understand from this is there's two primary phases that undergo the meiosis for the spermatocyte to become mature sperms. Okay, interstitial cells of Leydig, which is a soft tissue. You can find it between the seminiferous tubes, and their job technically is to produce testosterone. So that's all you need to know about that. Testosterone is essential for male sexual organs, of course. And spermatozoa is the egg-shaped cell with a tail for mobility. Okay, so again, spermatozoa, which is the tiny, it's egg-shaped and is equipped with a tail, which is the sperm that enables them to be mobile, to help them move around. So before that, they don't mature, they don't have the tail. Okay, and millions of them are released, and only one of them gets to be entered the egg and get fertilized. Okay, what else? Okay, the epididymis. Now we find that right here. Okay, let's get a little bigger. It's just right here on top of the egg. And then it blends and extends into the vas deferens duct. So, located in the scrotum, because of course the eggs are in the scrotum. And they receive sperm from the testes, so directly from the testes to the epididymis. They get stored there until they become mature. They extend upward into the duct of the vas deferens, where that joins into the seminal duct. So that's why understanding the anatomy is important. It's just kind of throwing the path at you, okay? And ejaculatory ducts empty to the urethra. In the female, of course, they're two separate, but for the male, they're the same channel where they get the sperm and the urine out, like in the urinary system. And we talked about the glands and the urethra and the penis. And that's pretty much it for this one. So now I'm going to go and show you a video, kind of explaining everything I said, but more visual, and so help you try to memorize these anatomy parts, okay? Go to the list, give me a moment. And it's 3D, so it just makes life so much simpler and amazing at the same time to see the design of our sexual organs. Okay. And it's only 6 minutes, but it has exactly what you need to know.
There's no sound.
No sound?
Males, for example.
There we go.
As you're about
Yes?
to see,
Yes.
Okay, great.
male genitalia comprises both external and internal elements, each with its own structure and function. Objective: to study the detailed structure and functions of the male reproductive system. In human beings, the male reproductive system is unique and is specifically designed to produce, nourish, and transport sperm. The male genitals include the testicles, the duct system, which is made up of the epididymis, rete testis, vasa efferentia, the vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, the seminal vesicles, and the prostate gland. The bulbourethral gland, or the Cooper's gland, is located beneath the prostate gland. These glands open into the urethra, which is a tube inside the penis. The testicles are oval-shaped and are also part of the endocrine system because they produce testosterone, which is the male sex hormone. Alongside the testicles are the epididymis and the vas deferens, which make up the duct system of the male reproductive organs. The seminiferous tubules of the testes open into vasa efferentia
Don't worry about this
through
extra
the
information.
VT testes. The vasa efferentia leave the testes and open into the epididymis. The epididymis is a set of coiled tubes that connects to the vas deferens. The vas deferens is a muscular tube that passes upward alongside the testicles and transports the sperm. The epididymis and the testicles hang in a pouch-like structure outside the pelvis called the scrotum. The accessory glands, including the seminal vesicles and the prostate gland, provide fluids that lubricate the duct system and nourish the sperm. The seminal vesicles are sac-like structures attached to the vas deferens near the base of the bladder. The prostate gland, which produces some of the parts of semen, surrounds the ejaculatory ducts and is located just below the bladder. The urethra, the channel that carries the semen to the outside of the body through the penis. The urethra is also a part of the urinary system because it is also the channel through which urine passes. The penis is made up of a shaft, which is the main part of the penis, and the glans is the tip, sometimes called the head. The inside of the penis is made up of spongy tissue. At the tip of the penis is a small opening of the urethra called the urethral meatus, from where semen and urine exit the body. Functions of the male reproductive system. An internal view of the testis shows that it is made up of numerous coiled seminiferous tubules. A section of this tubule shows the presence of spermatocytes, which are the male germ cells, and Sertoli cells.
This is also extra.
Spermatocytes modify into spindle-shaped spermatozoa, and they finally transform into tadpole-shaped sperms. Each sperm has a head and a tail. Sertoli cells are known as nurse cells, as they provide nourishment to the developing sperms. Leydig cells, or interstitial cells, are found adjacent to the seminiferous tubules. They secrete the male hormone testosterone. The sperms then move to the vas deferens, or sperm duct. The seminal vesicles and prostate gland produce a fluid called seminal fluid, which mixes with the sperm to form semen. An internal view of the testis shows that it is made up of numerous coiled seminiferous tubules. A section of this tubule shows the presence of spermatocytes. These cells modify into spindle-shaped spermatozoa and finally transform into tadpole-shaped sperms. Each sperm has a head and a tail. The sperms then move to the vas deferens, or sperm duct. The seminal vesicles and prostate gland produce a fluid called seminal fluid, which mixes with the sperms to form semen. The spermatocytes help in sperm production, and Sertoli cells provide nourishment to these sperm cells. Leydig cells produce the male hormone testosterone.